Hello, and welcome to IBTV's Throwdown. I'm Aurelio Martinez, and today I will have some pretty good guests in-house. They're going to be doing a roundtable discussion talking about Saturday's fight between Wilder and Fury. Okay, it's a rematch. The first fight was exciting. It was one of them where it ended up in a draw. Everyone's been waiting and anticipating this rematch. So what we did is we put together a roundtable that you're not going to want to miss. Here in studio, we're going to have our very own Touch of Sleep, DaVarryl Williamson, former heavyweight champion, and he's going to be here to talk about the fight. Alongside of him will be Raul Utajara from Longmont, Colorado. He's a trainer out there in Longmont, Colorado. And we also have Leroy Miller, who is a trainer here in Denver. Okay, the three of them are going to be talking. I'll be hosting the roundtable, so you're still going to hear me, okay? But anyhow, you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back with our guest, and we'll get it on. All right? See you in a bit.
Communities are stronger when people work together for a greater good. And that's why at Stapp Interstate Toyota, we proudly sponsor this inspiring local organization.
Since my dad started riding at CTRC, our family has seen improvement in his physical health.
Let's go, come on.
And balance.
Ready, April? 2 points.
It's nice that she has a hobby that she can experience fully, just like everybody else.
Visit stappinspires.com for more amazing stories.
Hello, I'm Aurelio Martinez, and welcome back to IBTV's Throwdown. And as I mentioned in the intro, I'm here with Leroy Miller, trainer here in Denver. I'm saving you for last, and you say the best for last.
Fair enough.
Okay. Trainer from Longmont, Colorado, Raul Utajara, okay, and a Touch of Sleep, DaVarryl Williamson, former champion. And we're going to break down this fight, as promised, upcoming this weekend. Everyone's anticipating this fight. We haven't had a heavyweight fight like this in years. Everyone's anxious. We got Deontay Wilder, who's having a rematch with Tyson Fury, okay? And there's a lot of talk going on about this show. It's going to be an exciting fight. So let's get started with this segment, and we'll just talk. I'll ask a few questions, and then we'll get into the open discussion, the roundtable. And let's just start right now on the first fight. Okay, how did we all see the first fight? And tell us a little bit. I'll tell you what we can.
I'll jump right in.
We'll start with you, baby.
Fair enough.
Talk about the first fight.
I'm very glad you asked that. I felt the first fight, I felt that Deontay Wilder won the second round. I thought he won 2 rounds by 2 points because he knocked him down. So that's 5 rounds, so it's 7-5. I thought Tyson Fury edges out on a 7-5 victory. 7 rounds to 5 rounds. To 2 rounds because they were knockdowns, they were 2-point rounds, and then he won the second round. I think he won it decisively. Mm-hmm. I thought that Tyson Fury won all those other rounds. It's hard to say what the anticipation of the next fight is because Deontay Wilder's put on a little bit more weight. I think that he knows a little bit more what to expect. I thought Tyson Fury fought well. I really thought he won the fight. But the last couple fights, Deontay Wilder looked good against the kid he had to win to UNC, the heavyweight quarterback. And then also Tyson Fury didn't look as good in his fight and sustained the cut as well. So it's hard to say the heavyweight fight, and that's why we're in the business because, it's so many unknowns, so many variables in it. And I'm excited, like all of us here in the studio. Can't wait for anticipation because it's exciting as Mike Tyson and Van Holyfield, their first fight. It's exciting as maybe Lynch Lewis, Mike Tyson. So many, and these guys are younger in their prime, so it's a little bit more decisive. Whereas those guys fought a little bit past, expired, not expired, but a little bit past our anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that Tyson Fury won the first fight 7-5.
You know, I think in the first fight, I'm happy with the draw. Both of them showed their strengths. You know, Tyson Fury showed excellent boxing and mobility. Deontay Wilder showed that right hand showed up a couple of times, dropping Tyson throughout the fight. He won some rounds in there with some movement that was unexpected from Deontay Wilder, because a lot of people didn't think he could move the way he could move. I think the fight was close enough to where I'm happy with the draw, and it puts us to this fight. You know, both of them showcase parts of what they do best. It's who's gonna do it better come second fight around.
Go ahead, Leroy.
And I'm gonna go with
First
Raul.
fight.
I thought it was worthy of a draw. I really did, and I'm happy with the draw because now we got the second rematch, and hopefully after this one we will have the trilogy. Because we haven't had that in the heavyweight in quite a while that I can remember. So I would love to see that trilogy.
Well, I'll tell you what. I saw the first fight as an excellent fight, and I've always said that the Tyson fans and the people that were watching the Tyson, you really can't argue with them saying they felt he won the fight, because it could have easily been a Tyson fight. And I'm telling you, a lot of folks out there are saying it should have been a Tyson fight. On this hand, you got Wilder, and I think the same goes with him. The Wilder fans, the ones that were supporting Wilder, they have a case. They have a case saying, hey, he knocked Tyson down flat out. And so I think in the long run, it's a draw, and I don't think anyone really can complain too bad. I mean, naturally, when you're rooting for a fighter, you're going to complain. I don't care if he didn't win one round. You're just going to complain. But bottom line is worthy for this rematch, and that's what we got on this the discussion on this rematch, is because nobody really knows what's going to happen. I mean, we've got Tyson talking one way, we got Deontay the other way. So, you know, if you listen to the hype, what you think you're going to see a whole different fight, where and we're going to get into that on here in a little bit when we talk about this one. So I think we're all saying that the first fight was worthy, it was excellent.
Absolutely. You know, Aurelio, I really want to give credit to, I'm not sure what the referee's name is, but he did an excellent job, because these big men are fighting and pushing and whatever, and he kept it under control, where there was no foul plays, there's no Andrew Gallardo low blows, there was no ear biting, there was no, these guys, sometimes in sports, the competition brings out the best in us, unfortunately brings out the worst in us as well. So we saw two warriors that really gave their best. I really compliment the referee for giving Tyson Fury time to get it together. Not extended time. We went out. Sometimes the way he laid down on the fight, it looked like the fight could have been over. And actually, Deontay Wilder did say it's over, but it wasn't. And that's when he said, "Oh my God, he's up! He's up again!" And so that's what gave the electricity in the building. Like, oh my God,
Let him fight.
yeah, let him fight. But I wish that most referees. I wish that he would officiate some of my fights, because some of my fights I felt they got stopped prematurely because of something similar like that. But it's warriors. These guys they wave their hands and say, "Hey, I signed my contract. Hey, my corner will start the fight if they feel like that they need to stop the fight because they have my best interest." Let me fight. It's heavyweights. There's going to be some knockdowns. That's the whole reason why we're getting paid. That's why everybody's all this electricity is in the air, because it's competitive. It's going to be some whoa. Why else would we pay this kind of money to go see that?
Absolutely.
These are some big boys. These are some big boys.
Big men.
Okay, good guys. We're gonna come back. We're gonna take a break. Hello, and welcome back to IBTV's Throwdown. I'm Aurelio Martinez. In studio, we got Leroy Miller, Raul Utajara. I don't know why I have so much. You want to say it right. And of course, Touch of Sleep. Okay, DaVarryl Williamson. Okay, anyhow, now what we want to do is we want to talk to you guys, and we're going to talk about now the upcoming fight that's happening this Saturday. And of course, it's on pay-per-view. And I haven't talked to anyone yet that's complaining about buying this fight. It's just that kind of a fight that it's a total anticipation. Now we've had a lot of folks talk about this fight. Tyson Fury's out there talking about he's going to change his style, his demeanor, and all this good stuff. So we're gonna each talk about our views on the upcoming fight. We'll kick it a little bit, and then we'll go into the open discussion, the roundtable discussion. Okay, so DaVarryl, tell us, what do you think about this next fight coming up?
Really, like everyone else, I'm excited, but I was put up for Tyson Fury the first time. You know, I ain't bet any money, but it's hard to watch the Super Bowl without choosing a team. Right. It's hard to watch this event without choosing a side. Although I'm in the business, I can't say that, hey, I don't want this guy, I want this. I think both guys are great. I think both guys are doing well. I think both guys deserve this opportunity. I'm so happy for the boxing business. Yeah. That this is something good for all of us who's in boxing, that, hey, this is something that we can say, hey, this is one of the events that doesn't have a black eye correlated attached to it. It was a beautiful fight. These guys fought their asses off, and they deserve, like I said, I'm happy that they didn't take the fight from Tyson Fury. I'm glad it's a mulligan, it's a redo. I don't know what to expect, because Deontay Wilder looked very good in his last fight. Tyson Fury won his fight, but he's scuffled. But sometimes you have that experience in the heavyweight division. I'll give you an example. There's a guy named Oliver McCall. I fought Oliver McCall, and I took the fight primarily because the fight he had before this, Oliver McCall weighed in at 254. He's more than like a 235, so he's 20 pounds overweight. He won the fight, but that's kind of how he baited me into taking the fight. He didn't bait me in, but it doesn't look very attractive if he knocks the guy out. So I said, yeah, I take the fight because I feel like he's older, he's overweight. He's not overweight, but he's out of his boxing weight class. And so I looked up, and for him, he was 235 in no minute. I was like, oh, no, I'm sorry, it's 233. He weighed in at 233. I was like, oh my God, he's in shape, he's ready to go. And of course, fortunately, I was able to beat him. In 10 rounds in Madison Square Garden. That was beautiful. But sometimes these guys, they're seasoned. They play these games, and it's a mind game. Everybody thinks it's so physical, but it's mostly mental than it is physical. And so Tyson Fury was in Deontay Wilder's head a lot, but just giving back and forth. It's kind of like a Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. He took it and gave it back. So this guy is not like no slouch. He can fight, number one. Number two, he ain't afraid of you. Number three, he'll go to jail, and go back into the bar and have a drink, and he'll get in a fist fight in the bar and have another drink and fight the next weekend. The same thing. He's a trooper. He's a warrior. But I don't know which Tyson Fury we're going to get this time. I'm hoping that he doesn't make too much of an alteration for the fight. I'm hoping he gives us a carbon copy exactly what he did the last time, and keep his hands up and void that right hand of Deontay Wilder's.
Good point.
Well, I think in the 12-round fight, the more the rounds stack up, the longer the fight goes, the better odds is that the right hand's going to show up. That right hand's going to show up. The only way that right hand's not going to show up is if Tyson Fury comes out, changes something really dramatic, and stops Tyson Fury, or Tyson Fury comes out and stops Deontay Wilder early in the fight. I don't think that's happening. If he comes out and tries that, like he's saying he's gonna, which I don't think he's going to, but if he comes out and tries that and it backfires on him, that end of that fight is gonna start getting closer. He's not gonna be as polished. And now you opening up the door for Deontay Wilder to land that right, which he's patient, and that's what he's relying on. He's coming back as a better fighter, in my opinion, from the first fight. And not only that, we're talking about, the weights, of where each fighter fights strong in their weights. The last fight, that was the lightest that Deontay Wilder had ever been since he first started.
At 212.
At 212.
Wow.
If he comes in at about 218, 220, you're going to have a harder hitting Deontay Wilder that is going to land that straight right come those later rounds. But 12 championship rounds, 49-0 with 48 KOs, tells me that right hand's going to show up the longer that fight goes on.
Good. Leroy?
I mean, I'd say that there's a method to my madness. These are some intelligent, smart fighters. You don't get to this level without being it. A lot of people think it's just a brutal sport, but these fighters, they have it up here. You can see their first fight. Wilder was out there like he was just, trying to knock him out, but he was fighting a technical fight, the same as Tyson Fury, So I think it's going to be another chess game, but I think Tyson is going to not be as. I think he's going to be a little bit more focused.
Okay, good. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm just looking forward to the fight. Okay, I'm looking forward to the fight because honestly, I don't know what to expect. I don't know if they're out there talking to get inside each other's head. More so on Tyson Fury's fight because he's making the claim that he's coming right at him and going to go at him and knock him out and knock Wilder out in 2 rounds. Okay, so I still in my mind don't know if that's just hype, if that's just to try to get into Wilder's head, or with this new trainer of his, if he actually thinks that that's the way he needs to fight this fight. Right. So now that we've kind of talked about it, let's get into this round table discussion. Okay, so let's just get in there and start arguing what we think and what we don't think, and you're right and I'm wrong.
I think that Tyson Fury is a very talented big man. When you first go in to see him and you're in the business, you think that he's a big guy can't be that finesseful. He got to be clumsy. He's 270 pounds, 60 pounds. No, this guy is talented. I mean, as it pertains to boxing. I have no idea how he plays basketball, how he plays football, but he's a pretty good boxer. He's a damn good boxer. And I think that Deontay Wilder is a pretty good boxer. But I think that he's like a little bit seasoned. He can't be 38, 48 and 0 with all these knockouts if you're not seasoned. You mean telling me he hadn't ran into nobody can show him some tricks? I mean he was able to avoid some of those tricks. So I give him credit that he's doing well. However, I think that Tyson Fury should not make a whole huge change in his plan was working perfect. He's got caught twice. His plan was working perfectly. I hope he doesn't deviate from that game plan he had last time. Now, Deontay Wilder has to be more assertive to get the knockout. He has to hustle. He has to do something to make Tyson Fury do something that he doesn't want to do. He has to match his intensity. For time in the fight, we saw the first fight that Tyson Fury's energy was better than Deontay Wilder. With the stuff he was doing from southpaw, he used uppercuts. He had a little bit more tricks in his bag, a little bit more of an arsenal in his arsenal of punching. But Deontay Wilder has an amazing right hand, straight right hand. But he has to go to the body. He has to do something a little bit different just to get him to take it because he's so big and strong. So he has to go say, hey, I can't crack him on top of his head, so I'm going to go to the body with the right hand, the straight right hand. Nice long 1-2 to the right hand, maybe hooks the right hand, and then go right back. The moment he started thinking about that right hand to the body, hook the body, then he go right back upstairs to the good 1-2 upstairs, and that should do the trick. Yep. You know what I mean?
That's why when I analyze this fight, as coaches, we all objectively gonna analyze, and we always look at rematches. I always look at which fighter is gonna come back a better fighter from that rematch. Okay, now I think Deontay Wilder in that fight alone seasoned himself quite a bit. I think if his training camp is smart, they're going to go back and look at the openings that he missed and capitalize on those openings. So I think he's going to go to the body a little bit more. I think he's going to try to set up a little bit more on what landing that straight right. And now on Tyson Fury's side, you bring a new coach. Here we are, 10 weeks of training camp with a new coach that might be trying to change what your style is. I think that's a recipe for disaster when he already had the recipe to win from the first fight.
I agree.
Well,
And I think you've got to keep that recipe the same.
I agree with you 100%.
I think that's a real valid point, but I'm gonna tell you what, I don't think Deontay Wilder can learn anything new. He's relied on knocking people out, and he's patient. So he's willing to wait 12 rounds and go the distance to get his power in there, and it shows that he's just as strong in the later rounds as he is in the first rounds. Okay, so I don't think he really can change, and I don't think that he wants to try to change in this fight, because I think his thing is I'm going to come in here and win this fight. I'm going to take that draw away. Whereas a boxer, you got Tyson Fury, where he's always going to be elusive because that's his style. It's been his style ever since. He's got movement. So now if he can come in and set on his punches a little more, okay, and deliver a punch, he's going to be pretty good. Now, maybe I'm off base.
I think you're on base, but I think you're just off a little bit. You're on base. You're in the right block, but you're not in the right house. Okay, fair enough. You're in the right block, but you're not in the right house.
And the neighbors?
You're in the neighbors. I think that if Tyson Fury making a commitment to Deontay Wilder's body, okay, that would get him more stationary where he's not as elusive. He doesn't have his legs. So you want to take a guy's legs out, you know what I mean? Go to his body. So Tyson Fury has to make an early, like in the first 3 rounds, he has to find a way, as soon as he get in the clutch, to go boom, boom, boom to his body to make Deontay Wilder not move as much. He's still got the right hand. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
The power's the last thing to go. But this movement, so he can't get to, he's so tall and rangy, he can't get to him. If he takes a little step away from him, that, we know that that's a second.
Right.
So yeah. I'm hoping that Tyson Fury will be able to go to Deontay's body early in the first 3, 4, 5 rounds to take a little bit of that steam off of him, if that makes any sense.
But it does, and actually I may have said it wrong, but I'm agreeing with you. I think Tyson Fury can go to the body. I was saying Wilder can't change and be an inside fighter and go to the body. Okay, that was my point. I don't think Wilder can change and fight that kind of fight.
I agree with you. We haven't seen it yet. Leroy, what do you think?
I agree in the sense that you do what you do best. And I think both of them going to do what they do best, what we saw in that first fight. I think it's going to be very little changes, and as far as having a new trainer, it's hard to.
It's really hard.
Yeah,
at this magnitude,
yes.
Maybe he'd have had maybe 3 or 4 fights with this new trainer and kind of like get some things. Sometimes, as you know, as trainers, I'm being a coach, a trainer, and a fighter. Like I'm wearing 3 hats here. Sometimes my coach would say, "Hey, man, hit him with the right hand. You hit the guy with in the McDonald's parking lot back in 2007. You mean the guy was talking smack to you? That's the right hand you need to hit him with. You mean, or you need to go to the body downstairs. Remember, we was in the gym. Like the familiarity is like, hey, we was in the gym. We was boxing that guy right there. 6 years ago, 4 more years ago. Like, hey, that's the body for this particular fight. We need this kind of style, and the style right here that you did, you had some success with. You know what I mean? This kind of fight I need you to fight. And so, whatever Tyson Fury's new coaches, trainers, which I feel that he didn't need that at all. That makes me nervous as a fighter and a fight fan that says, hey, why would you change something that wasn't broken? I mean, you don't change anything that's not broken. Right. You don't fix anything that's not broken.
You know what? Let me ask you a question, because I knew a heavyweight that also had that bazooka right hand.
Wow.
Okay? I knew someone that when you step in the ring with him, you had to watch out. So let me just ask you a question. We can all listen. Everyone can listen on the air. If you're fighting Tyson Fury, okay, you know you got the power. If you hit him, you're going to put him out. That was you. That was the touch of sleep. He's going to do it. He comes at you, changes up aggressively, trying to bulldog you and go aggressively. What are you doing?
I gotta move. I'm still gonna go back to what I'm still doing and just move. So many people have tried to smother Deontay Wilder. It's not his first baseball game. Everybody everybody and their mama know that his right hand, they know they coming in the parking lot, coming to the stadium, his right hand is coming out. Just like mine. But what he has to do to disguise it, he has to use his jab, he has to use his left uppercut, he has to use his left. I don't know how much is in Deontay Wilder's trick bag. I don't know if it was in his arsenal. We see the same things all the time and he's still been successful. So I'm not sure if anybody's gonna push him to do something different.
Well, I've seen him been pushed in a couple of fights. I mean, you mean to tell me Victor Ortiz didn't push him in certain aspects? He pushed him in certain aspects that he never been pushed before. Came back out from being wobbled, rocked, with doing the stank leg in the ring. Came back, survived that, and still managed to find that freight train of a right, that F5 category tornado that comes through and always puts it on him.
And let's not forget, Deontay got a heck of an open left hook. So,
yeah, that's right.
You throw enough right hands, and all of a sudden that open left hook.
There's taking it to the local scene. There's a fighter, Brad Jackson, local fighter, that's got a terrific right hand. Mm-hmm. And everybody underestimates Brad Jackson. And I've seen him go in the ring.
What do you think you're doing that for?
And I see that right hand. I see that right hand. And I tell everybody, wait till he lands that right hand. Everything changes. I think that's the game plan in this fight. That right hand's gonna land.
Wow, and looking at Deontay Wilder, and I'm not complaining. I'm not comparing Brad Jackson, Belo to Deontay Wilder. Let's get that straight, okay?
Right.
But I see some similarities with what you're saying because they're both tall, slender guys with the same kind of build for their particular weight class. And yes, Brad Jackson does change the fight because he landed that right hand, after the jab, and the fight changes. Like, wow. Wow. Then he becomes a little bit more, aggressive and going to other things. But Deontay Wilder, he has to make a commitment with his jab, of course, and some body shots. Yeah. And use that left hook just to take his mind off that right hand for a split second. And say, boom, 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 3 hooks to the body. Here we go. Tyson Fury is pulling his hands down and boom, good night. But Tyson Fury has to take some steam out of that right hand by hitting Deontay Wilder to the body.
Going to the body opens him up too. Yes. Going to the body opens him up, gets him a little closer. Now we're talking, there could be some elbows, headbutts, starts opening up that cut. Might change that game too.
Okay, guys, we're going to come back and give you our final analysis where we'll make our predictions and whatever we can. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. I'm Aurelio Martinez to IBTV's Throwdown. Okay, Leroy Miller, Raul Utajara. I'm thinking so hard that I mess up. Okay, and the touch of sleep, DaVarryl Williamson. Okay, this is our final portion of this show, and we're going to talk about our predictions, how we see the fight coming out. We'll make our picks. Well, I think we'll make our picks. Okay, we're going to ask, so we're going to go through this. So basically, let's go ahead and start. DaVarryl, we'll let you start. Tell us how you see this second fight. Make a prediction, however you want to make it, or don't make one, or whatever you want. But tell us the outcome of this fight.
The outcome of this fight right here, I'm going to go with Deontay Wilder. I think that he's going to win impressively. I just don't like so many changes in such a critical time in Tyson Fury's. I don't think he had the recipe for success last time. Sometimes you don't fix something that's already, you don't fix something, that's broken. It's not broken. That man boxed his butt off, and he boxed really well. So I would give him the same thing with minus the 2 knockdowns, and he wins big. Okay, he wins big. I would say, hey, if Tyson Fury's gonna have any success, he got to go to Deontay's body to kind of like not make him walking in and saying, but to take a little bit of steam off him so he can get his punches off, because he fought well, and Deontay Wilder was light as he had been, so he was moving, he was mobile as much as he's ever been. Deontay Wilder on his side, he's gonna have to make Tyson Fury, he's gonna have to do something, make him do something, make him respond to it, so that he can get that right hand off. So you have to take his mind off of it by going to his body, by using his left hook that we don't see a lot of, and of course his beautiful right hand he has to use that, and I think that he will have success. I think that this fight goes to Deontay Wilder and knockout before the 8th round.
Gotcha. Leroy, let's go with you.
I'm going to go slightly on the fence and say that there's going to be another tight one. I think it's going to be another tight one. Boxer, puncher, I'm going to always go with the boxer. And depends on who Fury go in there with his movement and his boxing style, but stay focused, not cocky. Just stay focused. Tyson.
I'm going to go and say that, right off the bat, I think Deontay Wilder is going to end up finding that right hand right around the 10th round, maybe 11th round. The only way, throwing a wild card in there is if Tyson Fury manages to set something up early, mid-fight, where he catches Deontay Wilder. Because Deontay Wilder will be looking for that big right. If he's patient enough to set up 1 or 2 traps, that's all he needs. Set up that trap, catch him. But I think as that fight goes on into those later rounds, the conditioning doesn't allow you to stay as sharp to keep that right off of you. So I think he lands that right. If Tyson doesn't take advantage of one of these traps early or middle of the fight, I think Deontay Wilder comes in and sneaks in that freight train of a right hand in those later rounds.
Okay, good. Well, I'll tell you what. We got 3 Wilders here, and I'm going to tell you what. I'm going the opposite. I think Tyson Fury is going to win this fight. I think Tyson Fury is going to knock out Wilder. He's going to stop him. And I'm going to tell you why. I think Tyson Fury is going to come with the aggressiveness that he says he is, okay? But only not to make the whole fight change that way. I think he's going to revert back to his elusiveness, but I think he's going to come in and give Wilder something to think about. Hit him, hurt him, make him not be so wild, okay? And then I think after the first, second round, I think you're going to see Tyson Fury revert back to what he does best, and that's movement and boxing. And I think he's going to end up hurting Wilder in the later rounds. I'm with DaVarryl, the 8th, 9th, 10th round. I just have the outcome being different. I have Tyson Fury winning this fight.
So that's bold.
That's
bold.
I had Tyson Fury the first fight.
Okay, so good. So guys, we're going to conclude this whole show. We hope you like it. We'll see how the fight goes along. Stay tuned to IBtv because we'll have some post roundtables. The roundtables really work good. You guys can send us any questions that you want to address to any of us, and we'll try to address them on the next one, on the future show. You can do that at IBtv, administration at IBtv.us, okay? IBtv.us. It's not a .com, it's a .us. And kind of enjoy it. Give us some suggestions. We got a lot of programming. We hope to have these folks back often, the Touch of Sleep. and I'm gonna just kind of, before I let him talk a little bit, I'm just gonna say something a little bit here. DaVarryl,
Yes.
you got Oliver McCall, you got all these guys coming back in, testing the waters into the thing. A lot of them are now, I've known you a long time. Are we going to see DaVarryl come in?
Yes, we want to. Really, hopefully that you will have something to say about that. I'm 51 years old, 51 years young. I turned 52 in July this year, and I feel great. I've had all my medical tests, you know what I mean, my nose, my eyes, my teeth, everything is very good. I mean, like, I went to a doctor, Dr. Richard Abrams, and they want to put me on a wall and say, we call him a good doctor, they want to say that this is what 51 should look like. This is what 51 should look like. And it feels good because Klitschko is coming out of retirement, Vladimir Klitschko, and he owes me that. He owes me a rematch. I mean, he owes me a rematch. You know, he owes me a rematch. It's a mulligan, it's a do-over. He owes, if anything else, I should be first one to listen, say, hey, bro, let's get that over with. I can't sleep at night because I'm tossing and turning because I can't, you know, because I know that there's unfinished business there. So you have Vladimir Klitschko, certainly, and maybe, you know, some of the other guys to go back. But Oliver McCall fight was a good fight. I beat him, you know, all the scores, all the judges. But the controversial one is Vladimir Klitschko. So that is a do-over. That's a mulligan, and hopefully he'll want to do that again.
Okay, guys. Before we let you guys finish, I just want you to know I brought that question out because we are working very hard. Okay, you know I've been promoting since the mid '80s and had some of the bigger fights here in town. ABC Wild World of Sports, and so we continue. And this thing, we are working toward putting this, making it happen, okay? Good things are happening. I promote now under Chichamecan Promotions and Entertainment. So stay tuned. We'll keep everyone working. We are very, very close to working out a deal with some casinos in the United States, which we will host and hopefully make this happen. I honestly think that it can happen, and we're going to do what we can to make it happen. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Now, guys, let's finish up. Raul, tell us any closing statements on this fight and whatever you want to tell.
Well, you know what? It feels good having the talk about the heavyweight division back on the foreground of boxing. For too many years there, there was no heavyweights to bring this drum, to beat the drums the way they are now. We had the middleweight division and the welterweight division with the Floyd Mayweather, the Cottos, the Margaritos carry boxing through those years that we didn't have that heavyweight. But to have the heavyweight division back on top, the showmanship that these guys bring to the table, I love the crown, the mask, the entrances, the press conferences. This is what heavyweight boxing should feel like, and we're back at it again.
I agree. Leroy?
And I love it too. I said it's going to be another close one, and then it's going to be a trilogy. They're going to split. One win, the draw, and then we're going to have to do a fourth one.
Somehow I don't mind that, because when you got two combatants in the ring like that actually are talented as these two, yes. That's what happens. Okay, you don't get it. Something similar to the Super Bowl we just saw. Great Super Bowl. I don't care who won. We saw a great game.
And halftime show.
But that
halftime show as well.
Talk about hips don't lie.
Yes.
But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen and fans, stay tuned for our next one. Tune in to IBtv. You can catch me on Facebook. You can catch everyone out here on Facebook. Get on there, give us some comments, give us some suggestions. We're going to keep programming coming to you on IBtv.us. Not only boxing, but tons of programming. This is the future. So until next time, we'll see you later.
IBtv, baby.
IBtv, baby.
That's right.
Thank you.